Welcome to episode 9 of Reverse the Relapse. Today we are talking about weighing yourself makes you lose control. You're in the right place if you're ready to stop the sabotage and weight regain post-weight loss surgery and start losing again. Hi, I'm Georgie Beams. I'm a psychologist who specializes in the area of emotional eating, sabotage, and weight regain for weight loss surgery patients. I work both in a weight loss surgery clinic as well as supporting women online to reverse the relapse. I honestly believe that psychology should be a mandatory part of everyone's weight loss surgery journey. Your body has had an upgrade to version 2.0 after surgery, but your mind has been operating at version 1.0. You're here to update your mind to match your body and get back on your weight loss path, and I'm here to help you. So first of all, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you listening. We have hit over 1,000 downloads. So I'm so excited and I appreciate you all. And I have so much more to share with you. So thank you for being on this journey with me. Okay, so this episode is all around weighing yourself makes you lose control. And you might be thinking, WTF? Like, Georgie, you've got this wrong. I weigh myself as a way to keep me in control and on track so I can lose weight. So how does weighing myself make me lose control and gain weight? This just makes no sense. So first of all, let's talk about your goal weight after weight loss surgery. Now, I find that there's two types of weight loss surgery clients that I see. So the first group of women are very numbers based. So, I have a chat to them around their ideal weight, and next minute they're reaching into their handbag and grabbing their phone and getting out the app and showing me, in the visually all, everything over their journey that has been tracked from a weight perspective. And they are very, very fixed on a specific number. So for instance, they might say, my goal weight is 76 kilos. Like, it's not 75, it's not 80, it's 76, right? Now, the second type of a weight loss surgery patient that I see has a sense of their ideal weight, but they're not so fixated on it. So they may have a range in mind, but they don't seem to be so attached to whether it starts with a 7 or it starts with an 8. So their intention and their goal is they'll just keep going on their weight loss journey, they'll see how they feel, and they'll go from there. But essentially the health benefits and how they feel is what they are more focused on. So if they feel great and they feel confident and they get these health benefits and that's at, say 81, that's great for them. And if that happens and that's at 76, well, that's great for them too. So I want you to consider, which group do you fall into? Now, I want to focus on the first group of women because I know many of you can relate to this thinking. And I'm here to let you know in this episode that it will lead to sabotage, which will lead to weight gain, which is the opposite of what you want, right? So the first group of weight loss surgery patients, as I mentioned, they're fixated on a specific number. So often I will ask, what ideal weight did your surgeon suggest? And what I find is quite often their surgeon, aka the expert, has recommended a number that is heavier than their number. So for instance, the surgeon may have said, look, pre-surgery, you're 120 kilos, let's get you down to 80. But the patient overrides this information and chooses 72, for instance, even though they may not have ever been 72 kilos before in their life, or they may have been 72 kilos in the past when they were like 15 years old and now they're 45 years old. And in their mind, they're so fixated on 72 kilos. It has to be this number, but they can't tell me what's behind the number. So I want you to consider, are you fixated on your number? Do you have a death-like grip on your number? This is all or nothing thinking, which means you're setting yourself up to be either a success or a failure and nothing in between. Now, I read a post on Instagram last week and I was just in two minds about whether I should comment. Like, I just wanted to just kind of say so much. And this weight loss surgery patient had lost around 40 kilos, which is amazing, right? 40 kilos, that's amazing. Now, they were 5 kilos off their goal weight. And they said in this comment that they will only feel like a success when they get that 5 kilos off. I couldn't believe it. Like, what about the 40 kilos that has come off? Is that not a success? Like, that is a huge success, right? And this is the all or nothing thinking. We don't want to get in. This is a trap. We don't want to go there. Otherwise, you could lose, 44 kilos, for instance, and be 1 kilo off. Have you failed then? You may have lost 44 kilos and had all those amazing health benefits associated, even saved your life. But that's failure? Would your friends and family see it like that? Would your kids, who you now have all the energy to play with in the playground, kicking around the soccer ball, you've got that, you've got your life back after you've lost all that weight, but would your kids see your weight loss surgery as a failure? So this death grip on your weight number will lead to sabotage because it's unnatural and it's a disproportionate need to be in control. Make sure you listen to the last 2 episodes to know what I'm talking about here. A desire to weigh is the same as a desire to eat, aka a craving. It's an urge. But it's driven by anxiety and fear. Same with a desire to weigh. And it happens when you live a lot of your life in your head. So you'll know if you've been listening to my podcast for a while, you'll know that your awareness is either in your head or your body, not both. And most of the clients that I work with are pretty much 99% living in their head. So make sure you listen to episode 5 to learn more here. But essentially, when you are feeling calm and you're feeling relaxed and you're in the moment, your awareness is in your body, you have no desire to hop on those scales. Some food for thought. So here's the thing. It's actually not about the number on the scale because numbers are neutral. It's the meaning that you've attached to that specific number. So I want you to really reflect on why you've chosen 72 kilos, for instance, and not 83. And it's got nothing to do with the number, but the meaning you have given it. And it might be linked to a time in the past. So for instance, I've got clients that, were married at 72 kilos and everyone told them that they looked amazing. Or it could be a fantasy number that you've never actually been before, which is just another form of sabotage because it's a fantasy number and not a realistic number. So if this is you, I want you to maybe reflect and ask yourself this question, and it's a bit of a deeper question here. But what type of person is 72 kilos? I want you to describe them, even visualize them. And then I want you to consider what type of person is 83 kilos. Describe them and visualize them. And there'll probably be some clues here for you and some interpretations in there as well. Pre-surgery, you were feeling out of control, right? Out of control around food, out of control with your weight. That's why you had surgery, right? And there were high levels of anxiety around your weight. And I'm guessing that you got surgery to feel free. However, many of you are still so fixated on the number of the scales. Your thinking still hasn't changed because your thinking is not free. This death grip that you have on the number on the scale is driven by anxiety. So in your mind, nothing's changed from pre-surgery to now from a mind perspective, because you're still thinking as the old quote unquote fat you. You can see this, right? So if this sounds like you, I highly recommend addressing this. And this is what I do with my one-on-one coaching clients. The risk is that you don't enjoy your journey. You don't feel free. You either sabotage your results when you are close to getting there, or you get there and you sabotage yourself. Either way, all roads can lead to sabotage. One of my clients described it, yesterday when I had a session with her, as going from the scales straight to the pantry. And this is what happens to many of you. Now, I used to personally think that once I got there, quote unquote, like as in my ideal weight, then I will relax and then I will enjoy it. But let me give you a tip, and I wish someone had given me this tip years ago. You will not relax when you get there. It's a myth. Because when you get there, you will feel even more pressure to stay there. And it will lead to sabotage. It will lead to weight regain. And also when you think about it, what happens when you relax? You'll relax your eating. And if you relax your eating, you'll gain weight. So there are two main reasons that I see with clients as to what's driving them to weigh themselves. And this is kind of weighing themselves in patterns when it's driven by fear and anxiety. So first of all, they've eaten well. So perhaps they've had a good week, they've felt in control, and they're seeking evidence of all of their hard work, that it's paid off. Or the second group, they're looking for a reason to sabotage. So this can happen when they've had, quote unquote, a bad week with food. So, they might have had a binge on chocolate the night before. They might be feeling flat. They might have known that it's like they know it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They know that the results aren't going to be good on the scales, and they're doing it to sabotage. It's almost like if I weigh myself, it gives me permission to sabotage myself. I've also seen this with clients who, feel crappy in themselves. They're feeling flat. They're not feeling good. Their old eating habits have snuck back in, and then they find themselves in their wardrobe trying on jeans from 5 years ago, right? Again, all sabotage. So there are only two responses available for a weigh-in. So the first one is feeling pleased with yourself. And the second one is feeling disappointed in yourself. That's it. They're the only two responses available. It's binary. So either reason, right, whether you feel, pleased with your results, this can lead to reward eating. And if you feel disappointed in yourself, you're probably going to end up in the pantry because you'll think, well, what's the point? I may as well eat anyway. So either way, whether you're feeling pleased with your results or you're feeling disappointed with your results, both of these responses often send women from the scales straight to the pantry. So you need to be really mindful around what's driving your weigh-ins, as it can really set you back. So let's get to the transformation takeaways. So the first question I have for you is, can you relax how often you weigh yourself? So I want you to think about how often you're weighing yourself now and what's the intention behind it. You know that you will either feel pleased or disappointed. And in most cases, you will know exactly, you will set this up before you get on the scales. You will know where this is going. It's like you've seen the movie before, you know the ending, and you kind of just, there's no surprises. And we set up these behaviors. We set up these results. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, if you're weighing yourself daily, for instance, I want you to think about, what's the purpose of this? Daily weigh-ins, in your mind, you're probably thinking, oh, this is a great tool to give me control, right? So I can keep on top of my weight. But daily weigh-ins in my experience, is driven by fear and anxiety. So all of your power, all of your self-worth is caught up in a number. And what you do next, such as feeling disappointed, you might eat, you might go back to bed and stay there all day and hide, is driven by a number. So second of all, can you focus on non-related goals, right? And stop trying to get there. So when I see patients pre-surgery and I ask them, why are you getting surgery now? Why now? And they say things to me like, I really want to get off the meds. I want freedom. I want energy. I want my life back. I want mobility. I want to run around the park with my kids. I want to sit in a plane seat without a seatbelt extender. I have never heard one patient say pre-surgery, I'm only getting weight loss surgery and I'm only doing this to get to 75 kilos. And that's the only thing that ever matters. Often we forget about all of those amazing other health benefits. And if you're too focused on the scales, you will miss them. You will overlook them. Do they not count now that you've had surgery? You can start to see this incongruence, right, of these health benefits being the main motivator pre-surgery, and then post-surgery they don't count anymore. Let's not fall into this trap. How you feel should be the barometer, not the number. How you feel in yourself, your energy levels, your confidence, feeling hopeful, feeling free, feeling calm, feeling relaxed, how you feel in your clothes, right? Otherwise, if you're so fixated on the number of the scale, you will be in a world of pain and you won't enjoy the weight loss surgery journey. You signed up to weight loss surgery for more freedom and more energy and more health and well-being. Did you not? Now, if you listen to my last podcast episode, I talked about handing over your personal power to something external to you. Scales fall into this category as well. So can I tell you, I have no idea what my number is, right? No idea. And I haven't known how much I weigh in years. I go by other things. Like I said, I go by how I feel, my energy levels. I go by how my clothes feel. That to me is the way that I sort of check in with myself. Now, I'm not saying that it's time to lose control and never hop on the scales ever again, because that's the all or nothing thinking, right? And you'll just flip over from being in control to out of control. But what I suggest and recommend for you is just to get more intentional about your desire to weigh and what's driving it, and just to get things in a bit more balance. There are other more important things to focus on, so please don't make the number on the scales to be the only criteria, because it's just simply unbalanced. So let me leave you just with one last thought. I bet no one on their deathbed ever would have looked back on their life and thought, you know what? I didn't feel free. I had surgery, didn't feel free, didn't feel good enough. After surgery, I still didn't feel free. I could have done better. I didn't really allow myself or give myself permission to enjoy it. But guess what? I got to 72 kilos. So I hope this has helped. I love reading all of your comments and feedback that you leave me in the social media. So please keep that up. It really does mean a lot. And if you are ready for change, I am here to help you with this. So feel free to click the link in the application form if you're ready for one-on-one work. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.